Right, so when I encounter this average Joe up here, I'm just going to run through some techniques which I use to fight them. So fighting a normal average Joe, which just to point out this guy isn't, the best tactic is to use the stun baton. You hold down the left trigger and you hit the right trigger, it stuns them, then you can repeatedly bash right trigger on its own just to beat them to death. If you attack an average Joe with just the right trigger attack, with your, whatever this thing's called, hammer, it won't work at all. They'll counter it every single time, so you need to stun them. The other option is you can use an EMP mine, which will freeze them in place for a moment, then you can continuously hit them. Or you can use some of the weapons that you've got. So the best weapon you can use against them is a shotgun. And remember, I'm talking about the normal average Joes here. Or you can use a pistol as long as you're really going for headshots. If you set them on fire with a flamethrower or Molotov, that also works, but it takes a bit of a longer time. Now, against these ones, they're wearing this protective suit, which means you can't set them on fire. You also can't use the EMP against them. So really your only option is you need to shoot them in the head with a bolt gun or one of the other weapons. The bolt gun is by far the best weapon against average Joes. If you hit them in the head with one hit, it will drop them immediately. That's the way I'd recommend to go with these, especially considering you will have a bolt gun at this time. Pipe bombs also work as well against them, of course, because they're basically grenades. So I'm going to drop this guy in a moment. Before I do, I'll talk about some of the other tactics. You can see that I'm pretty casually just walking away from this guy, and it is the most legitimate tactic if you want to just get out of a situation. You don't need to run. There is an alien around at this point in the game, so I will disturb the alien if I start to run. If you just keep walking away from me, they'll follow in this kind of menacing manner, but it'll give you a chance to maybe get around some corners and hide behind objects. Hiding is legitimate against these guys as long as you're behind something that will cover you while in normal crouch. So this wouldn't work. This would work. Peeking over has no real effect. So it sounds obvious, but it's just to point it out. Also, if you hide inside lockers, that works too, but you'll need to hold back. Don't use your motion tracker because they can hear it, and make sure that you are holding the left trigger down to stop breathing, or hold your breath, it's probably better to say, when they attack you. So if you do want to drop one of these guys with a bolt gun, you just need to hold down the right trigger, which kind of zooms the aim in a little bit, let go, charges it up, and you'll hit him straight in the head. After you've done that though, be aware if you're in a section where you do fight the alien, that will trigger the alien to arrive sometimes, so it's often best to take cover, like hold to hide, to escape from it. Average Joes obviously show up on the motion tracker. Just a couple of tips of the motion tracker. If you're looking around, the depth of field effect will blow out the background. Holding the left trigger will blow out the motion tracker and zoom in on the background. If you let it go about halfway with the pressure sensor, if you're really fiddly with it and you like that, it's kind of half and half. To be honest, I normally walk around with this if I'm going to use it, or just leave it off and wait until I hear the sort of signature ping for that. Okay. Average Joes will also not be able to spot you if you do things like this, by hiding under trolleys, whereas the alien will see you. Hiding in cupboards and things is generally effective as long as you don't get your motion tracker out, because that got me killed a lot and I hadn't realised that was what was going on.